Check. That was a good start. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the season finale of the Super Tours here in TCSRL. Slightly different tonight. I am Matty Heat, and I have been here the rest of the weeks, but of course it is normally the beautiful Welshman that is Mikey Bullen running the show. Unfortunately, he's not with us tonight. He is off swanning around Europe, driving in his beautiful Lexus and taking in the sights and sounds of Europe. I believe at the moment, from his words from last week, sitting around Lake Como eating pizza. So if you're out there, Mike, welcome to the show, and hopefully I can do it justice for you. I will be joined by Aaron Markham very, very shortly. I'm hoping it's going to be very shortly, because otherwise it's going to be a long road for me here to keep this going completely on my own. We will quickly jump across here and have a look. We've got a few minutes left of practice. We are here at the beautiful Paul Ricard in France. I say it's beautiful. A lot of people don't particularly like the track. There's so many different layouts to this amazing track. I think it's the fairly generic one. I think it's the one that... I want to say it's the one that the F1s use. I could be slightly wrong with the chicane in the middle of the long straight. We'll find out shortly, because I believe George User is going to be coming along to that in just a moment. This is the season finale. Welcome to those that are watching. I believe there is a big fan of Abradovic and Kerbalaja in the chat. It's the season finale, the 7th and final round of the Super Tours. It's been an incredible season. Myself, Mike, and Aaron have absolutely loved calling this one for you throughout the season. And I imagine it's going to be another absolute belter of a race tonight. 3 races, indeed, of course, like normal. Really looking forward to this one. It's a wide open track, loads of runoff. I mean, we're going past a bit here now where you could potentially hit the barrier, but you are in a straight line, so if that happens, something has gone horribly wrong. Like I say, plenty of runoff, plenty of tricky turns there at Paul Ricard. Racing it myself, GTs on ACC. There's a few corners I can never really get to grips with, but that could be a skill issue rather than the track itself, of course. Not expecting too many big hits into the barrier, which we've had a little bit of this season, especially last week. Poddy Flack, unfortunately, did come in contact, causing his race to finish early in one of the rounds. We're just watching George Hughes. I've not been watching too much of practice while I've been getting things set up. Not usually in the main seat. I'm trying to get everything going as best as I possibly can for the boys. I am going to be trying to update the championship tables as we go through the 3 races tonight. To attempt, pending any incidents, any potential penalties, which of course we hope there isn't going to be any. I'm hoping to be able to crown the champion on the street, or the champions, of course. We have the drivers, we have the independents as well, and then the manufacturers. So hoping to name the champions and crown them live on stream for those that are watching. As we're watching here on Russ Butcher, I've spoke to him in the week. He's not too optimistic, I think, if I remember correctly. The straight line speed. He's not overly happy with the straight line speed of that BMW over some of the other cars in this championship. And with, as you can see here, some very long straights here around Paul Ricard. He's not overly optimistic. There's the chicane in the middle. I believe that does happen in Formula 1. I could be very, very wrong there, and I could just be completely embarrassing myself. That's the end of practice. I haven't actually paid too much attention, like I say, to the times. Let's just have a quick look. Kerbalaja leading the practice with a 2:14.4, and it's just clicked over now to qualifying. It'd be interesting to see if he can keep that whilst they go through the qualifying. I may well bring these back up again for Bear with me. I may well bring these back up for Aaron to be able to see later on. I do, however, need to get onto the right screen for when Aaron gets here so he can see exactly what's going on. We'll go to that one. I imagine, again, slightly over a 2-minute lap. 2-minute 14, 2-minute 15 we were seeing. It's 15 minutes of qualifying. Again, it's a long lap, and they're not going to have too many opportunities at trying to get that lap in. As I have been joined by the lovely Aaron Markham. How are we, my friend? They're certainly all over the place, aren't they? And it's, like I've mentioned before you got here, it's wide open. I'm slightly concerned. I've literally just flicked on to YouTube, and I'm not sure that we can actually be heard, which is slightly concerning. They're certainly all over the place. Oh, okay, so I can be heard, but you cannot. This is problematic. Bear with us, folks, whilst I try and sort this out, because you certainly don't want to be listening to my dulcet tones throughout the stream. It is very much going to be easier to have Aaron joining in there. I'm not sure how to go about doing this. I did just get it up briefly, couldn't hear anything, and then I started talking. So this is a good start as we hopefully tick the clock down in qualifying. With 12 minutes to go, hopefully we can sort this out. This is not good. Bear with me. So I've got the desktop audio there, and it appears not to be picking up on Discord. I also have one there that says comms team, and that's not picking up anything. Ever so slightly concerning. That's going to be difficult. Bear with us, folks. Let me just... I'm literally just Googling. Streamlabs not picking up Discord audio. I would say yes, of course. And yeah, hopefully we've realised that before the race has got going. I would say give us some information, Aaron, while I sort this out. But of course, that's the whole issue. You can't do so. Yeah. Yes, Aaron, we certainly do need some teletext on the desktop sources. This is the sort of shambles you get when Marky Bullen isn't here, ladies and gentlemen. He runs the show, and he does so very, very well. It's got to be something, because it's a shambles at the minute. It is a shambles at the minute. That's just... This isn't working. Have you still got the stream on your phone, just in case I do something and you pop up? Maybe that will do the job. Impressive. Here we go. We will find a way to sort this out. I am determined to try and sort this out. I don't think it's that. I just think it's... So the issue is, ladies and gents, that I don't use Streamlabs. It is something that Mikey Bullen uses, and he has given me his login, so everything's here. Everything you like with regards to, if I do that and bring up the tables, I'm hoping you should be able to see that, which indeed you can, and you can have a look at those tables while I try and sort this problem out. It is incredibly tight at the top of these, and with the 3 rounds ahead, I'm very much looking forward to how the season's going to turn out at the end. Just give us a little something, Aaron, and see if this page is potentially picking you up. I fear it is not. That is good. Yes, indeed. I'm not sure with regards to... Yeah, I've got the stream monitoring race room within within my actual PC rather than trying to monitor anything else. Just to make sure it works, really. What is it without a little few teething problems, eh? I don't think he'd appreciate that while he's living it up in Italy. Aaron's suggesting that we get Mike on the phone. We did have this issue, though, didn't we? Where he wasn't heard, but we were. So it was kind of backwards, wasn't it? Try that now, Aaron. Try and talk a little bit. No, I don't think that was working either, but we'll see if anything's changed. I may have... Bear with me, bear with me. Try and talk, Aaron, see if I can see you.
Hello, hello.
That might have it, you know.
Let me go on YouTube.
I think it is. I think I might have fixed it, ladies and gents.
I got it worked!
Here we go, ladies and gents. Aaron is with us. Oh, I'm so pleased I managed to sort that one out. Woo.
Well done, well done. And it only took you 6 minutes, that's pretty good.
That was squeaky bum time, that was. But we move. We move. We got it going in the end. Let's have a look and I'm trying to fit so many more things. Let's go on with Bojan Kerbalizer. He's absolutely flying at the moment. He is sitting top of the table there with a 2:14.3, slightly quicker than he was in practice. Aaron, have you got anything you'd like to add? Seems nothing that you said prior was actually heard. Good to have you with us, my friend.
Thanks for getting me in. Well, shall I repeat what I said earlier of have you got lost yet with the 7 chicanes and the endless streams of blue and red and white runoff?
That is the thing. It's with tracks, there is always points of reference where you oh, it's there. That's where they are on the track. With this, you look and you're just looking at more blue, white, and red lines, aren't you? So it's difficult to get reference on where exactly they are on the circuit.
It's such a bad track. Like, I get it. I get why they've done it in real life. I get why this exists, but it's just not pretty to look at, is it? Like, you can't jazz up a tarmac runoff. You just never can.
No, they've tried the best with these lines, and am I right in thinking that the lines that have been painted are particularly grippy to try and help with, obviously not using gravel to stop contact?
Yes, and the different colour lines have different levels of abrasiveness to slow you down. So I think the red lines are the harshest, the blue are the least harsh, and the white somewhere in between.
Perfect. That is why I think they've probably done that to avoid cars getting stuck in gravel, to try and keep more cars in races, I should imagine. And there's how many different layouts that they can do here at Paul Ricard? Maybe like 5 or 6 different layouts because of the way they've built it.
Yeah, pretty much. You're exactly right with that first point, though. Excuse me. Because Paul Ricard's a test track, the last thing that the teams want when they come here and test is to have a car that's beached, basically. So they just got rid of all the gravel. It used to all be grass and gravel. But layout-wise, I think there's... I'm looking at a track map now. There's 1, 2... There's literally like 2 different chicane variants. There's about 6 different layouts. You could run 7 different layouts.
Yeah. It's a track people love to hate, isn't it? Let's be honest. It's far from people's favourites. There's certainly some tricky corners that I struggled to get the hang of that I mentioned earlier whilst driving the GTs. We will keep talking a little bit longer and see. Hopefully we're coming towards the end of qualifying. On board with Curb Elijah, if he does go for another lap, then maybe you can take us around this shambles of a track that nobody actually likes.
Yes, absolutely. I do have some, excuse me, I've got Cajun spice hitting the back of my throat. I'm just going to have a sip of water. I was going to say, I've got plenty of feedback now, having refreshed myself and driven the cars, which you folks at home won't know, but myself and Matty and Mike were speaking about it loosely, so we will try and give you some insight into the cars and what the guys will be feeling through these corners. But by the looks of it, Bojan is rounding the penultimate corner, soon to be the final corner. I've got all the corner names up and they are all in French, so I'm not even going to attempt to say any of them. But I'll take it from here, Matt, if you don't mind, as we start with Bojan. The fastest guy, as we've consistently said all season, especially with that ballast and the way things are running. He's 7/10 clear of Stu Neal, really aggressive over the curb. Surprised he doesn't snatch a break, but through the first chicane, you can see that the track limits are very close to being violated. All 4 wheels getting close to those white lines, but see with Paul Ricard, as you can see Bojan was doing there, you can extend the track with it all being tarmac. You can hover those 2 wheels onto the blue lines, over the white lines, and really open up the corners. It's turns like this where having ballast is going to really, really affect the car, make it feel heavy, make it feel sluggish onto that back straight, and committing into these faster corners onto the straights will be difficult. But seemingly, he's 10th up, he's running on a really good lap. As this is a bit of a rest point now for the drivers, and we take the F1 style chicane, braking at the 100 marker board. Perfect. Aim for that yellow and white marker, but don't obviously hit it, otherwise you'll get an invalidation. That will be very close to track limits, and I think it is. He's backed out of it.
Fantastic. Just what we want as we're trying to go on board for the laps.
It's okay.
I'm not sure we're going to get another one in there. There you go. Stu Neal's coming in as well, look.
We're basically done now, yeah.
We'll go on board with Shokay, and he's coming down towards the chicane. We'll see if he can finish off the lap, and
we'll re-carry on from after the chicane if he nails it. You can see that he's a lot less aggressive, but you can see it's just like that's clearly the plan of attack. You've got to really.
He's sucking it off there as well. Look,
yeah, it's where the time's to be made.
They're all coming. Yeah, everybody's coming in now.
It must be so fine between the white line and track limits for those type of laps.
Yeah, it's one of them where, because it is so, for me anyway, when I drove it on ACC, because it's such a wide open track, it's really quite tricky to, because it's open, so you're not worried about hitting a barrier or a wall, or because if you go off, you go off. There's so much runoff, which then, for me, it did make it more difficult to keep within those track limits. As we can see here, Curb Elijah takes pole ahead of Stu Neal. One thing I have noticed there, unfortunately, there is only 12 runners with us tonight. Georges are down in 7th place, the championship leader as it stands. What are your thoughts on that, Aaron?
massive. But if we, I mean, massive is in the sense of big opportunity opening up for Stu Neal in the championship. But what I'm thinking is, look at that field spread. It's tight as. It's so tight. Like second to Stu and Shaw's is Stu to Shaw's is split by 3/10.
Yeah, it is. There's a bit of a gap from Kerbalaja down, but from Stu downwards, it's a really tight gap between the bulk of the rest of the pack, really. Someone I do believe dropping in and out of the server. I think we may be getting someone else trying to join. Hopefully, pardon me, I'm just burping on stream. That's really good, isn't it? Hopefully they can get in before the race starts. I have brought up the tables on the stream whilst we go through that warm-up phase for the drivers, just to have another look at these championships, and you can really see how tight it is up at the top. Stu Neal really is breathing down the neck of Georges User. Kerbalaja's not too far behind either, with 20 points for a win, although as it stands, unless you don't finish, you're going to be getting points because there's less than 15, which we do the top 15 points here in TCSRL. It's going to be interesting. And, of course, looking at the independents, Russ Butcher and Carl Smith not too far behind Rob South there for the independents. And he's going to be hoping for another weekend, race weekend, I suppose, like last week, where he managed to pull a few points on those boys due to contact and damage. Have you done much running around Paul Ricard yourself, Aaron, particularly in touring cars?
Not in touring cars, no. Only ever on ACC and the GTs and F1. I've ran a short layout in Clio's on... That's so professional. I've ran the short layout in Clio's on R Factor 2, and it was something to be said, but it felt so gettable, especially in the slower cars. Like seeing those guys cut the chicane, that's like it gets to that level because it's not like the car's on the limit through those corners. The only way to be fast is to basically cut as much as you can and take as much liberty as you can with the track limits.
And here we go. The lights, they've finally got on. The lights are red. We are on board with Kerbalaja at the front of the grid, waiting for the green lights, and off they go.
Stu Neal with a great start. Look at that.
There we go. That's a little bit better as they come flying down towards turn one. It's a tricky little left-hander, especially when they're all together. Kerbalaja does manage to keep it in front of Stu Neal. Unfortunately, the grid isn't too big, but it makes it a little bit easier for us to call what's going on. Kerbalaja makes it through. Someone's going wide at the back there, going round that left. I said right-hander. It's a left-hander, most certainly. I do believe that was a slowdown that just popped up. I'm not sure who for.
It was Shaw's User. That's who went ride.
Yeah, quite possibly. He's not having a... Yeah, it's coming up there. Look, Shaw's User. He's not having a good time with that weight, that ballast on board, is he? He seems to have struggled more and more the season's gone on. I'm not sure if he's not practiced too much at this circuit. It's coming up plenty. He's clearly not slowing down enough for it to like it. He has gained 2 spots though, although he could of course lose those with a slowdown, especially down this long straight.
Yeah, absolutely. It's driving the Alfa Romeo around Sepang. It's a car that seems to really like it wants to go into the corner, so adding weight to it probably dramatically changes the characteristics, and a lot of the corners here are mid-speed, so it's going to be those corners where ballast affects the most, and clearly it's having an effect on Shaw's.
Stay on board here with Stu Neal, who was right up the backside of Bojan Kerbalaja, trying to look for any of the other gaps. There is Obradovic right up behind, Shoke behind as well, and Sergio Ceres, who is actually called Sergio, so I feel like I may call him Sergio tonight, is up and down up behind Manuel Alves in the middle of the pack. Trying to keep an eye on these gaps here, looking at Georges User just here. Oh, look at this little three-way battle here. Georges, Shoke and Obradovic is getting stuck in there. Just as we were saying, he's struggling with the weight and the ballast, which he has done, to be fair. he gets involved and sticks it past the Bradovic. Let's keep on board with these boys.
Absolutely.
Where,
Go on, Matt. What are you going to say?
where are the overtaking spots, would you say, in a track like this?
Difficult to say, really. It's going to be you're going to be pickpocketing someone at the last corner, or it's going to be a dive bomb down the inside of the chicane. But there is a couple of heavy braking spots. They're coming up to one very, very shortly. But the nature of the corner, with it being a pretty medium radius corner, it kind of doesn't lend itself to the overtaking. So there's only really the chicane and maybe it's the last corner and a couple of the heavy hairpin braking zones that are real overtaking opportunities.
Yeah, I was thinking myself, like I was trying to think, and the chicane is one that sort of stands out at the end of a bit of a straight. And then after the chicane, you've got another long straight, but it's a fairly quick right-hander, isn't it? So it's not really an overtaking opportunity there.
Yeah, it just doesn't lend itself really to it. Unless you're in a downforce car, it's not really a spot, is it? You just follow through there. Yeah,
absolutely. I've just had a note. I did notice that Russ Butcher's not on the grid. He was in there for qualifying. And I've just had a look. He's had a crash, unfortunately, on his PC. So he's dropped out of the server. So fingers crossed that he can get back in for race 2 and 3. But that's certainly not going to do him any favours, especially with the fact that he is trying to chase down Southie in that Independence Championship. And looking at it, he is 15 points back from him. So he needs every single point he can get. So that's a real shame for him there.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good at all. That's a big dent out of the championship hopes for him. Shaw's around the outside, though. What a move that is.
Like I said, he may have that ballast, but he's certainly not one to mess with. He's a fantastic driver, and he's shown that all season long, and it's the reason why he's the championship leader. It's difficult. I'm trying to commentate. I'm trying to look at the gaps. It's why I tend to look at these gaps and look at the, where they are on track and the fastest laps that they're setting and things whilst Mike and yourself talk. And I'm trying to do a bit of both, and it's certainly not easy.
It's rock hard. I did this once with Luke Dugdale for you guys in the GTs, and it was the hardest night of my life. I'm not gonna lie. It was 1 hour of rain at Solder, and it was just pain. It was pain for an hour.
I remember that race. I remember that race well because I absolutely adore Zolder. Not so much in the rain. It's really tricky around some of those corners that I found difficult to have traction at the best of times. As we see here, Georges User, we've been talking, and Georges User has been on screen, so we haven't missed it, but he has made his way through now into 3rd place. So there is your top 3 in the championship. Not in the right order, but they are the top 3 in this race, as I think we were probably expecting realistically, as he starts to pull away from the likes of Shoke, who is maybe not being pulled away from, actually, looking at that.
No, absolutely. I'm just looking at the timings, Matt, because I'll try and do this job for you since I'm the spare man. Southie's very close to Sergio. But he has just lost a bunch of time going through the chicane, but it seems like that's only a matter of time before he creeps his way past the Mexican.
Yes, actually, there we go. There's Carl Smith up behind Rob South as well. Looks like they're having a good old battle. I am lucky that the data that I'm seeing on this... I don't know if that was a little bit of a glitch there from Sergio Perez. He looked like he was launching from the curb, but of course he is using a mouse and keyboard, isn't he? So that may have something to do with it. Seeing the gaps, it comes up yellow when they get within a second, and it jumps to red when they're really close, within sort of a quarter of a second. And I'm trying to keep an eye on that. It is, as we jump to, and I'm trying to press the right buttons, as Boki Bradovic is right up behind Shoke, which I'm sure Georges Users is going to be really happy about. It gives him a chance to spread his legs a little bit and try and catch those front 2. He's made up 4 spots. So although he struggled in qualifying, his race pace is there. Let me see if I can find what their fastest laps are.
While you have a look, I'm just going to say that's absolutely massive for the championship. That, Shaws and Stu separated by around 15-ish points, if I remember rightly. So to be directly behind Stu Neal in terms of positions, that's all Shaws needs to do. He could finish third all night, and Stu could finish second all night, and that's it. It's enough. So he's played his cards well, hustled a little bit to get past those guys, and ultimately put himself in position here.
Absolutely. What I have done there, Aaron, on Discord, I've sent you the current championship standings so you can see them for reference during the race.
Brilliant stuff.
It is lovely. The championship's been fantastic all season long, isn't it? Of course, we missed Silverstone, unfortunately. Work commitments get in the way. These things happen. But it's been outstanding. It's been my first season commentating. You've done it a fair few times. But touring's just something else, aren't they, when it comes to enjoying it? And the wheel-to-wheel action is just something else.
It's brilliant. You know what? It's the most, it's the friendliest just get in and drive series that there is out there, especially on Race Room. The stock cars, yeah, they're set up a bit safe, they're a bit understeery and a bit heavy, but you could come on with no practice, and by the end of race 3, you'd be on pace with everyone. That is a fact. You just can. It's so accessible. The cars are, you know, I feel like if we were born 25 years ago, we'd feel like we could drive an S40. That's achievable, or a 156, or the 3 Series that Russ races, or the Accord. It's like, it's just, there's something about it. It's attainable, and that's part of the joy, I guess, and the draw of touring cars.
Yeah, I was just going to say, that's the thing with Tourers, is that they are cars that you find on the road that have been modified to be suitable on a racetrack and be safe. Am I right in thinking that in the British touring cars they have to be commercial, like they have to be road available cars? Like,
yeah, they have to be. But I think there's a rule with regards to how old a car can be. So, for example, the Infiniti isn't on the grid anymore, and I think that's because it was last made like 7 or 8 years ago, so it had to go basically. But as long as your car has been registered on the road as a normal road car within a certain time period, you can race it.
And like you say, that's the joys of touring cars. It makes you feel like I've got that car and that is racing. I'm watching that car race as we speak. Watching British touring cars, I'm a fan of the BMWs. I had a BMW until recently. It's not the only reason why I like the BMWs. I was a big fan of Colin Turkington when he was in the championship. And I'm a big fan of Jake Hill, who is currently in the championship. Although news is he's not going to be there next year. As we see a bit of a door bang there coming from Craig Deacon fighting off Abradovic. We've been talking away and we've not even noticed that Craig Deacon's come up through there because we've been trying to talk about touring cars and all sorts. And
we're getting nostalgic.
I know, they're having a right old ding-dong here, aren't they?
They are.
I do apologise, Deeks, and the rest of the drivers, really. As much as we're watching the battling going on, we've not been talking too much or bringing too much attention to it. Hopefully the fans at home, the millions that there are enjoying it whilst we talk about anything and all sorts that isn't actually this race.
Hey, God, we're trying. That's all we can do. I tell you what, though, Sergio and Southey are swapping positions like it's going out of fashion.
I just noticed that, and I just clicked across to Rob South. I tell you, we've said it a few times now. You can see it there from Sergio. The fact that this guy's on a keyboard, racing in any kind of sim racing, in a league, a competitive league, like these guys are not slow. And they're with steering wheels and pedals, and this guy's using a keyboard. Like, that is incredibly impressive.
It's mad, isn't it? It's absolutely mental. I mean, I did race on the pad last night, but that's something else. Keyboard is something else.
It's the skills to do so, and I'm trying to keep an eye here because we've got a battle here with obviously Deeks, Abradovic and Shoke. We're having a look there. We've got Rob South on the back of Sergio. And the whole time, the amount of slowdowns that have popped up, it's relentless. They're quite clearly pushing so close to the edge of this track.
At least we're spoiled for choice, so I'd rather have this than a race of no overtakes in like we have in GTs sometimes.
Yes, and that is, like, don't get me wrong, I miss parts of racing GTs in ACC, but yeah, from doing comms on this touring cars, it's something else. It's so enjoyable. It's made me want to get back behind the wheel. But when I spend all day behind a wheel as a driver, I get home and I just don't want to get on and practice, and which is a part of sim racing. It is a bit of a commitment at times.
My stomach went funny there, like you're on a roller coaster. I thought we were going to see an aeroplane crash.
They're having a right old ding dong. I'm trying to flick between certain cameras. I'm clicking buttons and it's not quite working. We're winging it, ladies and gents. We are winging it tonight, but we're trying to bring you as much of the action as we possibly can. This battle here, Deeks, Abradovic, Showcase sitting there with the front row seat to this battle of these two Volvos. Deeks is, if I'm right in saying Deeks missed the first round? First three races? And he's come back and, like... Oh!
That was so close to going wrong. He's still not out of it though. Is Borky? He's still in it. Oh,
was
no, it wasn't Borky. It was Deeks. It was Deeks.
It was Deeks. Was it Deeks that I gave the commentator's curse to a few weeks back as well? I feel like it might have been. I need to stop talking about Deeks, don't I? Because every time
he's tapped the back of Soki. Oh god.
Right, anything that happens with Deeks, you can talk about it, Aaron. I'm not going to. I mention his name and he crashes. So, we're coming around now. We've been talking that entire time. We are round onto what will surely be the final lap of the race. I'm just going to have a quick look at Bojan Gerbelager. He's out front by over 4 seconds. He is lights to flag all day long today. And, I mean, he was about a second quicker in qualifying. He absolutely smashed that. He also has, I'm just trying to find, he does have the fastest lap today as well during the race. Almost a second quicker than Stu Neal sitting in behind. This is exactly what Kerbelager's done all season long, isn't it? And that's why he's sitting up there in third place in the championship. If he could have kept it a little bit more consistent and not made a couple of mistakes in races, he'd be absolutely flying at the top of this championship. He's been outstanding, hasn't he?
Absolutely. I'm just looking at his gap now. 254 to 221. So not huge, but not really catchable, is it? He's been great. He's been the fastest guy by far since the ballast got introduced.
Yeah, I feel like he is one that's definitely taken advantage. He's dealt, obviously, he has got ballast. Not obviously as much as yours or Stu, but I do feel like he has dealt with when he's kept it consistent and he's kept it with his out-and-out pace, he has dealt with that ballast better than anybody else. Stu Neal, of course, has done a fantastic job as well with, not overlooking him.
Yeah, he's been pretty good as he weaves across the line, rightly so. Fastest lap, pole position, and the win. It's the treble for Bojan Kerbelager.
There we go, and we've not seen much of him because he's pulled away so much, and we've been stuck with. We haven't been stuck, but we've been keeping an eye on Abradovic, Showcase, Deeks. Deeks was up to 4th place until he made that mistake, and it looks like he's coming home. He came home in 6th spot. Let a little photo of these because during the post-race, I'm glad we can hear you now because it's all over to you for the post-race for anybody that nips in because I'm going to try and keep these
championship standings
up to date as much as I possibly can. Let's bring that across, and on that, absolutely outstanding there from Kerbelager. Fastest lap by quite some way. Stu Neal had a brilliant race himself, but just didn't quite have that pace of Kerbelager. Georges are coming up in 3rd place after making quite a few spots up. Abradovic in 4th. A hell of a battle with Showcase and Deeks. Showcase with 5th. Deeks in 6th. Manuel Alves we didn't really see too much of in 7th. Rob South managed to beat Carl Smith in 8th. He'll be happy with that for the Independence Championship. Carl Smith managed to also get past Sergio Perez at the end. And then, I do apologise, I didn't quite catch who that was in last place. It was Mr. Foster. So, let me just go to this screen just here. That's not the screen that I wanted to go to. That's the one I wanted to go to. So, we are on our beautiful faces for the post-race. I'm hoping some people do jump in. And as I say that, here is Mr. Rob South. I will immediately hand over to you, Aaron, because I am going to try and sort out these championship standings for us. Oh, that is a very good point. Thank you. Bear with me. Bear with me. I am on it. I have it ready. I'm not too sure. Let me just go on here. How many of us? There's 12. So where does it start? I do apologise for... I should have prepared this. Is it literally from the front to the back? $10, $11. No, it's not. It's not. I'm joking. It's not 11. Bear with me. I'm spinning it now. It is on the screen. To be fair, it's number 9. So it's almost a full reverse grid there. Thank you for reminding me of that, because I was in the process of trying to sort out... It's difficult, I'm not going to lie. It's not difficult, to be fair. It's just getting all of them done, because they all run slightly different. Obviously, the points... There's the Drivers' Championship, where everybody's involved, and then there's the Independents, where obviously I need to then put Rob South... Obviously, Southey got 20 points because he won the race with regards to Independents. So I'm now in the process of trying to add all these up together, and at the minute I've got, what, 2.5 minutes until the next race? Thank you. So I have got the drivers and the independents done. The manufacturers, not so much, although I'm less concerned about getting that done in time, purely because it is very much clear that the Alphas are going to win that one. So let me quickly jump back across to the race. We are... There we go. Hopefully you can see that, Mr. Markham.
My stream has frozen, believe it or not.
Bear with me. Stop streaming. Start streaming. Share the screen.
Here we go. And it's still stuck on warm-up, looking at Rob South. I don't know if you...
Yeah, no, it's literally like that because it's just about to tick over to the formation lap.
Fair enough.
Hopefully.
Cool. Well, you're moving in the Discord chat, so that bodes well. Yeah.
I'm here. That's always a good thing.
There we go. Yep, I'm seeing movement. I was panicking for a split second.
Oh, there was something going on. I'm not sure. May have been an issue there. Someone was commenting on the YouTube that there was worried that they'd lost sound. So I'm slightly concerned that those interviews were not heard.
Let me have a skip forward. I'll soon tell you. Yes, we lost sound.
Oh, delightful.
But we've got it back in the stream now, so that's not too bad.
Okay, so that is... Yeah, okay. So that's... I think it's to do with the scenes within Streamlabs. So after the next race, I'll see if I can have a look and see what's going on. And if we're not able to fix that, then... well, I don't know, we'll find a way of going into the right screen somewhere. But here they are lining up on the grid, waiting for the lights to go green. I need to get the correct bit of data up on my screen, and away we go. Stu Neal again with another decent start there to put a bit of pressure on Kerbalizer coming down to this left-hander. Kerbalizer's cut straight across there. He's cleared that one. I wonder what's happened there then. Completely missed that. Maybe, does it do that if he jumps to start quite aggressively?
No, if he jumped to start, it came up yellow as if he had a penalty. So I wonder if he's jumped to start and just gone, oh, well, I'm out.
Interesting. We'd missed that, unfortunately. We didn't quite see what's happened there. Maybe we can get some answers afterwards. But I can see that Lava Lemming has also joined us for this one, and Russ Butcher has also joined us for race 2. That's a good thing, although he has obviously dropped down points in the championship. Let's have a little look at Russ Butcher in the middle. He's already made up 5 spots off the start there, so he's come in and he's come in hungry to make up some spots. Another one that's a fast mover off the start is Sergio, making up four places off the start of that grid there. Again, pushing through the middle of that pack.
Yeah, he's smashing it. He just seems to get better and better at every sort of race, which it's just remarkable. You can see there though, Russ, a sitting duck on the back straight, but in the braking zone, like unbeatable. Yeah. Absolutely unbeatable.
Carl Smith going wide there, which allows Russ Butcher back through. One thing with Sergio starts, he did mention last week or a couple of weeks ago that because he's on a keyboard, he has no throttle control, it is all or nothing. That he does have a self-imposed ballast because he has the traction control on in that vehicle to help him with that. So that may be a factor with regards to his fast starts. He's got that traction control to get off that line.
Would be, yeah, that would actually make a lot of sense. That's a good point. Well spotted.
I have my uses occasionally. Running a stream and trying to do this comms without mic is not one of them.
He does a good job, doesn't he, the guy?
Honestly, like, I had respect for him anyway, for doing it. Now I'm trying to do it, it's just a whole nother level. It really is a whole nother level. The respect for you, Mr. Bullen, if you are listening around Lake Como, doubt it. But if you are, hats off to you, good sir. It was watching Bogi Bradovic right up behind George User coming down into turn 1. not going to take a dive up that inside. He's going to stay patient, stay tucked in behind and see if he can get him potentially down into that braking zone, into the chicane. Russ Butcher all over the back of Sergio Perez. Let's have a look down this straight, just how much that BMW struggles with. Manuel Alves also getting involved. We're going almost 3 wide. Oh, that was a fantastic move by Russ. He is good on the brakes on that BMW, isn't he? He has mentioned that previously. So he made that stick as Sergio goes ever so slightly wide there.
Yeah. I tell you what, having driven the car, it did drive like a boat, but you don't lock up any brakes. You can just slam and stand on the brakes, and it's brilliant. It doesn't lock up at all.
That's how close he is to the back of his car.
Got a glimpse of the inside of the car there, I think. Oh, he's so much earlier on the brakes, so obviously because he's on a keyboard, and that's actually caught out Manuel Alves there and put him in the clutches of Carl Smith.
Well spotted there, indeed. I didn't actually notice how badly that did affect Manuel Alves there as he's coming up behind. I suppose Manuel Alves maybe hasn't had so much wheel-to-wheel with Sergio. Some of the guys are very much aware that going into the braking zone is on the brakes a lot earlier because of how he's racing. Maybe Manuel Alves isn't quite aware of that, and yeah, like you say, it's caught him unawares.
Good, yeah, I think that's what's happened there. Interesting to see. Oh, that was a sideways moment. I was just about to say, interesting to see that Stu's kind of falling off the back of Bojan, and Shaw's is flirting with the back of Stu.
He is indeed. I was going to mention though that Stu's actually a lot closer to Bojan. Like, if you think by the end of the race, he was 4 seconds, 5 seconds clear. They've managed to keep him within a second, but that's only going to start to grow now if George is on the back of Stu Neal.
Yeah, at this point now, it's like Stu's kind of out of the slipstream range. So it's just going to boil down to how best does he manage this race.
Absolutely. It's one of the things now where Stu needs to make the decision. Is he going to try and carry on chasing down Bojan, or is he going to just try and hold on to second place as best he can against a short user who's very... Oh, do you know what? The control there, because he was so close to the back of Stu Neal there. It's so easy to give him a little bump going into those zones where you get so close. I know it makes me panic from when I was racing. He did very well to avoid the back of Stu Neal going through that corner there because he was incredibly close.
Absolutely, but that would look like it was shaping up for a move into the chicane there. Yep, he's pulled out, he's going up the inside. Oh, here we go, sports fans. Oh,
that's fantastic on, yeah. I mean, they're in the same car, but that's fantastic on the brakes from Stu Neal to hold Jules User off and keep him in behind. This is, I mean, we were mentioning in the, one lap, Bojan Kerbalaja has now pulled out another half a second on these guys because they're battling and slowing each other down. This is a dream come true for Bojan, who is fighting for his life to try and get back into that championship.
Yep, he's doing what he needs to do. He's finishing in front of these two guys, but the problem is they're right behind him. So too little too late, isn't it? But I'm curious, Matt, what would be going through your mind right now? You're Stu Neal, you know the championship's on the line, you know that reverse grid, you're going to have to just carve your way through, including going past Shaw's. What's your plan of attack? What are you doing now? You've got 8 minutes left.
What would be going through my head, and hopefully this isn't too loud for the viewers, but what would be going through my head is... Yeah, I really struggled when it came to being under pressure. I struggled to keep a calm head, and that showed with some silly errors that I would make at times. Stu Neal is a much better driver than me. I think, to be fair, on a serious note, he just needs to try and stay as calm as he possibly can. At the end of the day, yes, Bojan is also in the battle, but George is first, Stu is second. So, yes, he needs to be aware of Kerbalaja, but right now, he just needs to keep Stu Neal behind him. George User. Because George User is the guy that is ahead of him in the championship. And from the updated championship points, is 11 points is the gap, which isn't a great deal. It really isn't a lot when you get 20 points for a win. On the same thing, George User is also going to be thinking, I've got a bit of a gap. As long as I don't make a mistake and finish last, or not finished, unfortunately, like Shoke has, he's in a good position. But there's not too much that Stu can do in this situation, so he's just got to try and do his best to keep Shores there, and Shores needs to stay calm himself, and Kerbalisha's gone, isn't he? Let's be honest.
Yeah, I think if I was Stu, there's not much you can do. You can't really. Oh my God, that was a proper wheelie. You can't really back anyone into the pack because he'll just go past you. He's too good. He's too good to be backed up. That's why I was trying to like quiz him a little bit and figure out what was going through his mind. If he tries to back Shores into them Volvos, that suddenly becomes a four-way battle for second. And before you know where you are, you can easily be in 5th place after you're running second and think, why did I do that?
Certainly is that's the thing. It's tricky, and some people may think, oh, it's sim racing. Why are you trying to think too much of it? Why are you taking it so seriously? But these are competitive guys. We race because we enjoy racing, and it's competitive, and it gives us that little bit of a buzz that we can't get because we don't have the money to go racing. So we do take it seriously within sim racing. We do put the time into practice, and it generally does mean a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, this is as close as we'll ever get to it, really. Just looking at the gaps on the left-hand side of my screen, I think this is really the closest battle on track, but for a little second, Manuel Alves was on the back of Rob South, so that might be one to just keep an eye on. Rob's extended it a bit now, so I don't know if it was Rob going past and pulling away, or if it was just Manuel kind of sneaking up to the back of that Honda, but it doesn't look like there's much more happening really, other than Shaw's being stuck to Stu and Diggs being stuck to Borky. Right on cue, you flick to it.
Yeah, I was just going to say, that's the closest gap at the moment. It is, I'm not going to say his name because something will go wrong, but him trying to catch up with Borky and George up behind Stu Neal, trying to keep an eye on these. Carl Smith's in and out of catching Sergio at the back. There's a bit of a gap there at the moment, but that keeps closing and then widening. It's difficult to stay on top of that one. But I'm going to stay with this gentleman at the minute. Like I say, I'm going to refuse to say his name because he is pushing hard to get past Borky, in the hopes that he can himself climb up and take a few spots in the championship, especially from the fact that it's Poddy Flack that's ahead of him in 4th place, and he is not racing tonight.
Yep, well pointed out. I'm just laughing at myself in my head because I'm basically calling Craig Diggs Lord Voldemort, he who shall not be named.
Nice. I mean, that is it. I'm not actually going to say his name until the end of race 3 because I mentioned his name the other week and I'm pretty sure it led to him DNF because he crashed. And I mentioned his name earlier and it lost him 2 spots. So Voldemort is currently up behind Borky Abradovic. And Borky's gone wide.
You've helped him. Oh,
Borky's gone wide. That's put Diggs right up behind him. He was alongside him momentarily as he come through. I believe this is the final part of the lap. Again, difficult correct. Because of all the blue and red and white. It's difficult to know. But there we go, pulling out onto the straight. I think Borky's got the better drive there, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's got a decent drive out of that last turn, and it doesn't look like Diggs is looking too much for that slipstream as he pulls across now. I am just going to very quickly notice that behind, as I've lost my mouse completely... No, it was just the camera angle. It looked like they were a lot closer than they actually were. Georges are up behind Stu Neal, not to forget about this battle in 2nd place, and Kerbalisha is almost 4 seconds ahead yet again in this one. Stu Neal hanging on for dear life. These boys are just the talent they have when it comes to this racing and doing it wheel to wheel. As a guy that's come from GT where there's less wheel to wheel, door to door, it's just phenomenal, isn't it? I generally get speechless at times about how close these guys can race without taking each other out.
Oh man, I need to get you in one of these lobbies. It's just so fun. Like watching it. Oh, look at the Volvos in the background. Watching this season it's proper giving me the bug to get racing again. So you never know, you might lose a co-commentator, but you might have someone else to view on stream. But it's class. I mean, I've been Shaw's teammate and raced hard against him in the past. He's one of the best. So's Stu. I mean, everyone in that top 7, and then Carl and Soki, they're all proper peddlers. Every single one of them will push you to the limit and then some. They're all mint. There's no other word for it. Everyone's class at what they do, and the respect that we've all got's good. We all get on well. The league's got good guys in it, if I'm being honest.
Do you know what? From doing comms, obviously, I've not been a part of this championship before. I've come in doing co-comms. The boys seem absolutely fantastic, and like you said, it's sort of giving you the bug to try and get back in, and race. It has me, to be honest with you. Like, I've got my rig next to me. It's semi-dismantled. The monitors aren't on there anymore. I need to tighten a few things up. The wheel's not on there, but fairly easy to put on. It is very, very tempting, even if it's just for one race to give it a crack. It was just come up with George. No, it's not George. Oh, that's Deeks. I do apologise. Looking at completely the wrong.
Oh God!
He sticks it to the inside. I said his name. He was trying to stick it to the inside. It looked like he had that done, and then I said his name, and it's all gone wrong.
Yep.
I apologise, Deeks. I'll tell you what. I've said his name again. It's terrible. Every single time.
I was about to say, I'm glad you flicked to that. Carl Smith had a run on Sergio, and it looks like he's got through now.
He has. It's been up and down that gap for quite a while. I think from the manner of Sergio and the way he goes about it. There's times Carl really gets up behind, probably in the braking zone, and then he manages to pull away off on the straights. So it's I've been monitoring that gap and then watching Deeks and keeping an eye on the gap here between George and Stu. It's really not an easy thing to do, whilst also trying to talk relentlessly and not talk absolute waffle like I have done for the last, I don't know how long. And yet again, we've missed the fact that the race is now coming to an end. As we watch Bojan Kerbalaja coming around towards the back end of the track, I will try and catch him as he takes yet another win. And although a lot closer, looks like he's going to get the fastest lap again. His fastest lap is a 2:14.5 compared to George, who is a 2:14.7. So it's a lot closer on this one. A lot closer.
Here we go. It's going to boil down to the last corner. I feel a hairpin dive bomb coming. I'm not going to lie to you, Matt, because it's what I would do.
I know, but then I'm looking at these boys. It's really difficult. Like, Alpha battling Alpha, Volvo battling Volvo, both are absolutely outstanding. I'm going to try.
Stu parked the car right in the middle of the track.
He did, and we'll see if Boki can do the same thing. Oh, he's up on two wheels. He's not got a good drive. Is he going to get him on the line? Deeks coming through. I think he's got him. Oh, Boki Obradovic is going to be absolutely gutted there. That was outstanding.
What a finish.
I'm so glad that we flicked to them at the perfect time. It's a shame we don't have the replay to smash the replay button. But that was unreal.
That was perfect. Well done.
Boki's going to be absolutely kicking himself there because he had that covered. The very last corner, takes too much curb, pops it up onto two wheels. Deeks gets the drive and gets him on the line.
Oh, man.
That was something else.
I'm calling it now, Matt. Boki will have an unbelievable race streak because he'll be filled with anger.
He will be. Just to very quickly make a note, Russ Butcher finishing in 6th place, 7 points gained on that lap. We'll go through the final standings here as Kerbalaja yet again absolutely smashing that coming home. Lights, 2 flag, fastest lap. He had it all. Stu Neal again holding off Georgiou's, a hell of a battle there for 2nd and 3rd. Deeks taking 4th place on the line from Boki Obradovic. Absolutely unbelievable finish between those two boys. Russ Butcher, like I said, making up those 7 spots, bringing in 6th place. Rob South in 7th, Manuel Alves 8th. Sorry, just flicking to a photo. I was like, Sergio has managed to bring it in 9th, so he managed to get back past Carl Smith. We missed that. Something must have happened there. and Carl Smith in 10th, Foster in 11th, Lemming in 12th, and Shoke DNF down in 13th. So, let's just see about... If I go on to... Just speak for me, Aaron, please. No, that's not working, is it? Bear with me. Try it now. No. And try it now. I still don't think that's working. Listen. Is it? I don't know. Can you get the stream up on your phone and just see if you can be heard? Welcome, Santhi. We'll be with you in just a moment. We're having some technical difficulties. After the last race, nothing could be heard. I'm trying to do the championship and then leave Aaron to the interviews, and then nothing can actually be heard. So what I'm going to have to do is, just for the purposes of it, we're not going to see anybody's pretty faces. We are actually, I'm going to do that. It's just going to be race room. Unfortunately, it doesn't look particularly good. Bear with me. Take it away, Mr. Aaron Markham. As far as I'm aware, people can be heard in this scene. We're just not going to be able to see our faces.
Well, I'm not a religious guy, but I have crossed my hands. I am praying. So, let's see what happens. Well, we lost all of our interview from the first race, Rob, so we may as well just repeat it all again. No, I'm only joking. I'm not going to make you sit here and talk about Hondas and BMWs and the independent championship. But as much as I was giving that BMW some slack, he didn't have come through the pack, didn't he, Russ Butcher?
Yeah.
He absolutely tore it through.
He got through better than I did. I just got absolutely swamped off the start. Had to pick him off one by one. And then I was like, oh, I've lost quite a bit trying to get through everyone. So I think I was like 4.5 back. Got it down to 3, but just not enough time. He's quite equal through the first sector. So it's only really like the middle and like the start of the final sector that I can really claw some time back.
Yeah, I was going to say, it feels like the type of track where you kind of need to be in a slipstream to be anywhere near competitive or like clawing massive time back. So, bit of a tough one. But one thing you're going to have going for you is a pretty decent reverse grid draw. And one thing that Russ will have to deal with is starting at the back. So, obviously, championship's not a worry anymore, but at least you will have an advantage on Russ this time out.
Yeah, hopefully we can just have a bit of a battle, because, you know, it hyped it up right behind me on the grid. I thought, perfect, I know what's going to happen. He's going to get past me on the start. Carl's probably going to get past me in the Audi. Everyone else is probably going to get better launched, like Sergio in the Alpha. And then I can fight through, and it'll just be a good fight. But obviously that was better in race 2. Definitely managed to cut through, side through people there.
Good. Well, you might not know this either, but on stream I may have semi-announced a comeback. So if you need a teammate, you know where to go. But I think I fancy signing up for the next season.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I don't know what car you're entering in next season.
What, in Super Tourers?
Are we doing another season of Super Tourers, or is it World Touring car?
We're moving to TCR next season.
Okay, I thought so. So yeah, what car are you going in for the TCR?
So I'll be sticking with the Honda in that.
Nice. Great choice. Great car choice. I second that.
Just thought, I'm going to stick with what I know. I've got on really well with it now. I've started to get a grip of it. So you know, I've had some really good results in it. So let's go.
There you go. There you go. We're slowly trying to convince Matt to rebuild his rig and get on with us, but don't think that's gonna happen.
We'll see. We'll see. I'm not promising anything. I'm also not. I'm not saying no completely. But I sit behind a wheel all day driving a lorry, so it's not my priority to then sit behind a wheel practicing for races. But I may try, even if it's one race. I'm tempted because the wheel to wheel, the door to door, the driving's just phenomenal. So if I can get in there and try not to punt people off, then I wouldn't mind giving it a crack, even for one race.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, we've had a low number for this one, but with TCR, you don't really get lower than 20. So, you know, you're normally averaging between 20 and 30. So, there's a battle
Yeah.
everywhere.
I think the biggest grid I took part in was 30 cars deep. It was mental. Absolutely mental.
Was that the one that you entered the seat last season, the season before?
I think it was 2 seasons before.
Was that one that we done at Road America? It was pretty deep.
Yeah, it was. It was. Christ. I look at like when me and Mike sort of started it. Well, it was Mike started it, I think, didn't he? And then I kind of came in with Luke. But it's just gone from like a 14 car deep grid to like this massive thing. It's just like, it's absolutely mental. I never ever thought that a league would be taken this seriously ever, especially considering it was formed on a Facebook group on PlayStation 4.
Yeah, it's amazing, especially when we look into the categories. So it's not just, you know, one set of category of drivers and, you know, no one's got nothing to fight for. You've got probably 12, 13 pros, 10 pro-ams and another 10 ams. So there is battles absolutely everywhere. And what you find is everyone sort of scores the same sort of points. So everything normally comes down to the final round. You know, bar people missing rounds, everyone's so equal across the night. It's normally 4 or 5 points across, and that swings race round to round.
Yep, it's like it's just wide open, isn't it? Like, I've never known a league be so competitive, really. Like, even though there is the sort of individual groups, it's mint. You couldn't get it any better. And I mean, as far as evening it out with the ballasts and the way we do things, I don't think there's many leagues that actually run ballast. So, I think it's done in a good way and in the right way, personally.
100%. When you got the ballast in there, you got, you know, some of the top guys do struggle. So when they've got, you know, we run an extra 20 odd kilos. So the top boys are running 70, 66. You know, they've got a lot. And then you got the pro-ams that are missing out in the drivers, but almost as quick when they've got their ballast. It's just a complete mix-up. You'll have loads of people up there that you wouldn't normally see on outright pace, but it just makes it all good for racing.
Yep, absolutely. We have 2 minutes left, so I'm not sure where your reverse grid position puts you, but I imagine it won't be too far from the front of the pack. So
I'll be able to
race
tell
three.
you in just one moment. Apologies.
I'm on the front row, I believe.
You
I
are.
was
You're
gonna
in
say.
second place. Carl Smith on pole. Yourself, Rob South, in second. Manuel Alves third. Deeks fourth. Shoke fifth. Abradovic sixth. User seventh. Stu Neal eighth. Kerbalaja ninth. Followed by Sergio Perez, Foster, and then the guys that didn't run. I assume will be at the bottom, like Russ Butcher and Lava Lemming.
Well, there you go, Rob. You must fancy a race winning race 3.
Not with Kerbalaja's pace. He's like second and a half faster everywhere.
It's hard. I can't believe how much faster he is. I mean, we're watching sort of Stu and Shaw's like keep pace with him for the first maybe 2 or 3 laps, and then he just disappears.
It's crazy.
we as a collective, me and Matt and Mike as well, we've said if he'd have had cleaner race threes, he'd have won this championship.
100%.
Just
Especially with the amount of practice I reckon he puts in.
does he put in a lot of hours midweek as well?
Yeah, I think he just runs on a different server, so they've got their own server they run. So
I missed this. Apologies. Who we're talking about?
We're on about Bojan.
Yes. Do you know what? He's been out and out pace. He's been phenomenal this season. He's made the odd mistake. We've mentioned it a few times on stream. Out and out pace. He's been fantastic.
But
he's quite
Rob was
clearly
just saying there, Matt. He's banging in the hours on a different server, like just
Yeah.
all the time.
He comes in, shows his pace, and you think, cool, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, he's quite clearly got the pace tonight. He's smashing it. Like I said, lights to flag every time. But I mean, I've got the championship standings in front of me. If I have calculated them right coming in, I'm going to keep them to myself.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, I'll show my co-coms, but I don't want to ruin anything for drivers, especially you, Mr. South, who's battling for an independent championship. I'm not going to possibly make comment on this, the standings there.
That's all right. Everyone else
At the end of this.
Yep, absolutely. Get yourself back in that lobby, Rob, and we'll touch base with you after race 3.
Yeah, no worries. Cheers, boys.
Not a problem.
Cheers, Stephanie. Good luck. So, yeah, none of our pretty faces there, because nothing could be heard, which actually concerns me for the end of the race, when we bring everybody or anybody that comes into Discord, because it can't be heard for some reason. If I've calculated the championship standings correctly, it looks like we've got a couple of champions, but I mean, the Drivers' Championship is a lot closer, but I'll say no more than that for the time being.
Okay.
I'm sure you can read between. Oh, as we see, Showcase.
Ding, ding, ding. That's not Soki. That's I think that's Sergio.
Oh no, it wasn't Soka. Sorry, it said Soka on there, but it wasn't. It was Sergio. That makes more sense. For some reason, the name at the bottom said Soka when it certainly was not. As we go to the formation lap for the very last race of the championship. What a season it's been. I've not always had things to say. Tonight has not been the most amazing stream in the world. But we're here. We're here for the finale. It's going to be a hell of a race. Who are your eyes on here for? Well, that isn't even a sentence. Who are your eyes on for this race with the reverse grid, Mr. Markham?
Oh, well, it's got to be Bojan, hasn't it? I actually can't see how he doesn't win, even though he's starting last effectively. I am predicting he will be in the lead by the end of lap 3.
I'm going to disagree, purely because yes, he's incredibly quick. As we wait for the green lights to go, watching Carl Smith and Rob South, he's had those moments. Not a great start there for Rob South. He does struggle with the start in that Honda, doesn't he? And he has lost spots already coming down. Do you know what's really difficult? There's so much going on. There's 3-4 cars wide coming down to this turn 1.
Oh my God.
As we watch Carl, that's not Sergio Perez, Carl Smith.
Other.
They're all going wide. And Carl Smith's just off into the distance. Well, not in the distance, but he's off. Oh, we've had a moment at the back.
It's Sergio.
Sergio is round at the back. Carl Smith's at the front. He doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't care what's going on. He's off on his merry way. As we watch in here, Showcase is hungry. I just see him absolutely sling that up the inside there, Manuel Alves.
Yep. Poor Rob.
This is phenomenal. This is phenomenal. Your mention, Bojan, he's there, made 3 spots up so far in this opening lap. He's up into 6th spot. Stu Neal could well be potentially on his way to a race win if he can keep these boys behind him. He's currently up 4 spots in 4th place, but he is currently being challenged by George User coming down into the chicane. They're going to stick one by one by one by one.
I'm looking for the behind Shaw's. It's Bojan.
It is.
This is going to be box office, Matt. Box office.
Yet again, yeah, it's the top 3 of the Drivers' Championship altogether, yet again on track like there have been so much this season, and they've given us some absolutely outstanding racing. And here we go again. Nothing is going to change for this final race of the season. It's really difficult because I'm trying to watch everywhere. Rob South's currently having a ding-dong with Shoke. Door-to-door, bit of banging there, choosing... Oh, look at that little switchback from Rob South. I love a good switchback. I love a good switchback.
Oh, this battle's still not
over.
He's
done it!
Oh my god!
Oh, they're doing it.
He's back on the inside. Oh man! I tell you what, we can slag off Paul Ricard, but it does give pretty good racing.
It does. Carl Smith's starting to drop back. I feel like, yeah, look at his line. It looks like he's just trying to get out of the way of these boys that are trying to battle his way through. Oh! But, well, we've seen that happen more than once tonight, and he's there. He is doing it again. Not him, sorry, but that corner.
Hey Matt, look who's second, third, and fourth.
I'm very, very aware. I've also noticed who's first, but I'm not going to say a word. Look at this.
Oh,
look at this. This is outstanding. Boki Abradovic getting stuck in there with them as well. This is phenomenal racing. I'm trying to keep an eye on what's going on elsewhere, but how can you take your eyes away from this? The top 3 in the championship, all battling it out for the top spots. It's just unreal. And they're all keeping it relatively clean, which is absolutely phenomenal.
It's unreal.
This is special. This really is. Stu's not letting Bojan pass easily. Do you know what I've noticed from this round, and I'm sure, I feel like it's been mentioned before, Stu Neal does a phenomenal job of defending.
Yeah, he's brilliant. He's one of the best in the league. I remember when he first joined, people thought, who's this guy? But he's earned his respect and he's earned his racing stripes with absolute pride.
There yet again. Oh!
Wow. Deeks has been mugged.
Deeks has been done. He must have had a problem there coming out of that. Georgiou's are up to the front. We completely missed that. Deeks must have had us. Has he got an issue? Because he's not getting good drive off the line, is he? At all.
No, he might have a bit of damage, but that Alpha does get out of the corners a lot better than the Volvo, so it could just be characteristics of the cars.
It could well be, but yet again, 1, 2, 3 in the championship, 1, 2, 3 on track. Or is it 1, 2, 3 in the championship? Things have potentially changed tonight. I maybe gave a little bit away there. They've all, in order, to be fair, made up 6 spots. They were 7th, 8th and 9th. They're now 1, 2, 3. And shock, horror and amazement pulling away from that gentleman who I do not say his name.
It's before lap 3. I called it. But I did call Bojan before the end of lap 3, so we've still got another lap to go before he might hit the front, but I don't think he will.
You know, I just wanted to make a quick note there. I won't go on board with him because we've got this battle unbelievably yet again down into turn 1. Russ Butcher yet again making up 6 places. He's up into 6th spot. Absolutely fantastic. And we have just noticed that Carl Smith is out of the race. He's back in the pits and he's ending his season on a bit of a sour note there. I'm sure he would have wanted to see this one out, but not sure what's happened there. Maybe if he comes into the comms box, we can take note of what's going on for Carl. This battle, it's been like this all season long, and I don't know why I'm acting surprised because it's just phenomenal. It has been since the first race. It is now the last race, and they just keep going. It's unreal. The standard of driving.
It's something else, but look at... Oh my god, that was...
That's not the racing line.
Yeah, that was a speed bump tsunami, that. I was about to say, the top 5 were all in the same shot there. Like, not just because it's a long straight, but literally all within touching distance of each other. So, like, look at that. There's clearly a division between the top 3 and then the 3 behind, but... unbelievable stuff. Do you think Stu's going to go past Shaw's, or do you reckon he's just going to settle for second?
It's the last race of the championship. He's flashing his lights. He's going for it. He wants this win. He wants the last win of the season. Oh!
Oh, that was cheeky. Mugged.
That was, took him to the
Absolutely mugged.
inside, slight little bang to the door, he makes his way through. That was aggressive, but I think in Tourers, when you get door to door, you get wheel to wheel, that is Tourer racing. Fair overtake, just quite aggressive.
Yep, that was game on. That was a classic case of if you leave that door open, I'm going to take it. Now, oh god, I thought Shaw's was going to have a look. So,
Of course we'll have a look.
best case scenario now for Stu Neal is that Bojan and Deeks get past Shaw's. Don't think it's going to happen. I think if anything, Bojan will, but there's nothing to split Stu and Shaw's. And they were like that all the way through race 1, all the way through race 2. I think it could just stay like this.
Yeah, it could well do. I don't know if Kerbalaja is going to settle. He was quicker. He's been quicker all night long. But is he going to play the patient game? That you can see how aggressive these two boys are going for first place. Is he going to sit there, let them battle it out, potentially take each other out, and then come through for the race win? It's potentially something that I try and do. I certainly wouldn't want to get caught up in these two boys. The way they are attacking and defending, they're both phenomenal drivers. And he could be sitting there in prime spot ready to take the opportunity if something was to happen between these two.
Yep, he's in position here, like you say. I had a feeling this would happen. It's just going to be a case of let these two guys battle in front and mop up any sort of mess that's left behind. Stu Neal won't give this up easily. There's a championship on the line. He's got to fight it. He's clawed back some points tonight. It's not enough so far, we think. I think anyway.
Yeah, well, technically it is still very much on the line. I just want to go back to that overtake from Shaw's that we just saw. Absolute textbook down into the chicane. Taking the inside for the first. It gives him the outside for the second, which lets Stu Neal a little bit of hope that he's going to get it, and then it gives him the inside again for that third and final corner out onto the straight. An absolute textbook. As you see, Bojan now trying to get past Stu Neal around the outside. And I'll say it because Mike isn't here, like two trailer park girls. Not to be done. Stu Neal fights that one off to live another day. But quite clearly, Bojan has now thought, this is my time. I need to get past Stu so Shaw's doesn't pull away.
Yep, six minutes remaining, a little bit under halfway. 4 cars in contention for the lead. Deeks, probably the outside shot of all of them. But there might be an element, of Bojan maybe thinking, this isn't my championship, I shouldn't be fighting it. But, yeah, it's just it's a Mexican standoff. Revolvers pointing at every car door possible. Who's your tip? Who's going to win this race, Matt?
I'm glad you said race and not championship, because I've got a slight insight into that. But I really don't know. Like, any of these could do it. Any of them, and anybody can make contact. The favourite, I would say, has been Shaw's. He's been the championship leader for most of the year for a reason. But he has struggled a little bit with the ballast, and Stu Neal is no push around. He's proven that right now. I genuinely cannot call it between any of these three boys, but they've been absolutely outstanding all season long. And they're treating us. They really are treating us on the final race of the season. It's been outstanding. Thank you so much, boys. And let's watch it here. Stu Neal, he tries to take the outside line because George is... he knows that the inside line into the first corner is the better one. But Stu is great on the brakes and he gets that done.
Brilliant.
That was
brilliant.
That was special. George moved to the inside there thinking, I want the inside line because you get the inside on 2 corners through the chicane. So he thinks, I'll have the inside line. It's fine. I can fight this off. Stu absolutely dominates on the braking zone, on the brakes, nice and late, gets that move done before the second corner even comes into contention. Absolutely phenomenal overtake there. And now it's all for Shaw's to try and do again, to try and get back past him. And Bojan's sitting there not really knowing what to do, I should imagine.
He's, I'd be feeling, oh God, that's track limits if I've ever seen it, but at least it was both of them. This is the invitation that Bojan will have been waiting for now. They've both 100% got slowed down, so it's just a case of, can he get past?
Absolutely, look how close he is up behind us. I'll quickly click there. I'll tell you what I'm going to try and do. If I sit on George User, he's in between the two. We'll maybe get a bit of everything, but he's just bumper to bumper with these boys. And he who must not be named, sitting in 4th spot, sitting there nice and polite behind, watching this, what a view he's got, and hoping to mop up any potential tears that may come should anything happen.
Yep, absolutely. I'm just cautious of the time. 2 laps to go. Butcher holding on to 6th place as Soki rightfully trying to battle his way. Oh, Russ is round! Russ is round!
Completely missed. He's had that problem before, as I quickly jump back to the front 3. He had that, didn't he, last week? Was it last week? It was at Nerbs.
Yep.
Where, yeah, he just got a little bit too happy on the fast pedal, on the loud pedal, sorry, as you said.
Look at this, Stu's got a good run here.
Sent it round.
Run away from the leaders. Sorry to totally talk over you.
No,
there,
absolutely fine.
He's going to be under pressure here from Bojan.
This is just something else. Yeah, Russ had the same issue last week. A little bit too happy on the throttle. Oh, look at this.
Bojan's bump drafted him. He's bump drafted him past.
It's not going to work, though. Oh, Stu Neal.
That's the track limits. He's got to
he's got to slow down. He did take that a little bit too tight. Still, unbelievable on the brakes. Unbelievable on the brakes there by Stu Neal. He's going to be trying to feather that throttle. There you go. That slowdown's cost him. It could cost him both, but it goes wide there as well.
Yeah, Bojan's through now.
It's cost him both positions there, and he's got another one there as well, unfortunately. That's just... He fought hard, and it was a real good defence, but it was so close to track limits. He almost held it. And I think now that Bojan's got past him as well, I think he may struggle unless Bojan puts so much pressure under Jaws that they then slows them guys down.
I think Bojan will get past Shaw's. Shaw's is the heaviest car. He's now not got a tow. I think you'll see a lead swap going onto this last lap. It's just going to be, unfortunately, I think it'll finish Bojan, Shaw's, Stu, which will sign, seal, and deliver the championship.
We've got to be careful of Deeks now. Stu got up onto 2 wheels like we've seen multiple times tonight coming around that last corner. So we watch it side by side, not quite. He must not be named. Oh, last minute dive to the inside.
Oh, it was as well.
Oh, it was. I didn't think he was going to do it. It looked like he was going to settle in behind and just follow him, but he decided to go for that move at the last minute. Fortunately, had enough brakes not to slam into the side of him, but opportunistic there from Deeks, watching that Stu had a poor drive off that last corner.
Yeah, that's... I think that's it now, though. Bojan in the lead. Stu obviously got the bad drive in 3rd. Shaw's in 2nd. So, unless there's an absolute massive mistake from Shaw's user, this is done and dusted.
Absolutely, and unless Bojan can do something on this lap, he's not going to get the fastest lap on every single race because of the way this race has gone. His best lap is actually a 2:25 because all of his faster laps have been invalid because he's been taking track limits a little bit too much. Quickly click back here, side by side, going into the chicane. Rob South trying to defend for his life against Manuel Alves. Gives him a little bit of a nudge, and Ross Butcher's right up behind him. He's like this Independence Championship. He's not giving up on it, despite the fact that it's the last race. Phenomenal there from the boys going through the chicane.
Yep, he's still showing the fight.
Absolutely. As it stands, George User with the current fastest time. Stu Neal has not actually set a valid lap through this entire race, apparently. Neither has Sergio, Andy Foster. And I've also noticed that Lava Lemming also DNF back in the pits. That's a shame for him to finish his season in that way as well. But I don't think Lava's not been with us too much this year, has he?
No, he's missed a few. He has missed a few.
As we watch, I will go on board around the final. Bojan Kerbalaja, take a bow, sir. 3 race wins from 3. They all weave across the line for the final time in this absolutely epic championship. Deke slams on his brakes in front of Poke as they go over the line. What a season. What a season. That has been absolutely phenomenal. I shall very quickly wait as we watch the last few come round. Sergio Perez, take a bow on your keyboard. Good sir, what a season. Andy Foster coming up as the final of the finishers in this race. Hell of a season all round, and George User takes the fastest lap. Let me very quickly get a photo for this, because otherwise I will not get it done. Kerbalizer takes his third race win of the night. Absolute dominance tonight around Paul Ricard. George User taking second from Stu Neal after that mistake on the last corner a few laps back. Craig Deacon in fourth position. I can say his name now. Craig Deacon. No more commentators curse. It is all done. Boki Obradovic in 5th. Shoke in 6th. Russ Butcher in 7th. Rob South 8th. Manuel Alves 9th. Sergio Perez 10th. Foster 11th. Lama Leving and Carl Smith DNF. Unfortunate. The big winner from that one, Kerbalizer, 8 positions. 8 positions he made up. Absolutely fantastic. Let me just try and see if we can sort this out in a way that actually allows me... Bear with me. Un momento, por favor. Nope. If you keep talking, good sir. Oh, I might... Hang on. Talk. No, hang on.
There you go, if it helps.
There we go, I fixed it.
Brilliant. Basically, what was happening there,
rid of
Stu, is that we could only hear Matty, but we couldn't hear anyone else. So
on this screen, yeah.
Yeah, so in Discord and all the chats, we can all hear each other, but on the stream, you could only hear Matt for some reason in the driver interview.
Because I'm the most important one here. I'm not, by any means. Right, over to you, Mr. Markham, whilst I sort out the
first of all,
championship standings.
I was going to say, do we have an official champion?
Bear with me. Well, I think we do, but just let me, just give me a quick moment, and then I'll be with you.
Okay. Well, Stu, we focused on the battle at the front pretty much all race. It was something else. I mean, you had that lead for probably the longest time, and then it looked like the tiniest of mistakes with track limits has cost you the win ultimately. Please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but it looked like a pretty solid drive. And just a tiny mistake that's ultimately cost you third in the end.
Yeah, it was. I did pick up a few track limits, to be fair. I think if you saw at the end, I didn't even get a single clean lap because it was obviously it was a fight to. I mean, me and Shaw's said, let's have a battle. Do you know what I mean? There's not going to be no holds barred. Let's just have it, and we did. And obviously Bojan joined in as well, which we obviously expected. I think he almost took a back seat for a minute and just let us have at it. Do you know what I mean? And just enjoyed the show. But yeah, it was brilliant. It was absolutely superb fun. Yeah, as I said, the track limits did cost me. I did have to give some back. It was just. I think that was one of the best races I've had in a long time. And as I said, it was no holds barred. It was give it everything, basically, because there was nothing to lose at that point. I mean, obviously, I didn't want to end up firing Shaw's off or getting involved in an accident with Bojan either. But epic, absolutely epic.
Oh, it was class to watch. I thought there was going to be a last lap hairpin lunge, to be honest, but it was, you just kept it clean. That was the main thing, and it was hard but fair. So well done. Obviously, Shaw's is in the chat, and I'm pretty certain that he is the champion. So I just want to say, well done, Shaw's.
Thank you.
I actually haven't spoken to you in person, and how bad's that? I've been your teammate. Yeah. So, well done. You've raced really well all season. You've been the most consistent. That's why you're at the top. So, Getting pretty sick and tired of you winning, to be honest, George. I have to give the other guys a.
No, for me, it's not. No. I love it every time. No, but it's. I told Stu, it's pretty much the same names standing on the top, and most of the time it's Stu and me.
Yeah.
And we always say the championship is won in race 3,
Yeah, absolutely.
and when you're consistent in that race, then you score the most points. Because we had races reverse grid 17. That's too much, but we most of the time we finish in top 5 in race 3, and yeah, that's why the points are won. And I think Stu and I are the most consistent of all. And I had some bad luck because I had one game crash. But this night, the last race, no holding back. We are both in the voice chat together, and the first 2 laps, man, I was laughing. I had so much fun, and yeah, it was. I think we switched positions. Well, maybe 5, 6 times.
Yeah, there was a lot.
If it wasn't more, it was a lot.
Yeah.
No, I had great fun, and the first season with the Super Tourings, I like them.
They're good cars, aren't they?
Yeah,
They
they're
are
good cars, but I'm happy to go back to the TCRs next season because I miss them.
Yeah, I miss them as well, and I definitely think I need to be racing again. It's made me want to race.
Join, man.
Do you know what?
I need to do it.
From a comms perspective, I can jump in now because I believe I've done them correctly. I've done the drivers and I've done the independents, and we'll come to them in just a moment. I'm hoping maybe the other boys that haven't quite popped in will nip in. Seems it is the last round. I'm looking forward to next season, whether I'm in the comms box or whether I'm watching. I'm not sure what the deal is. It's been fantastic racing. So while you boys here, I will say thank you very much for the entertainment. Thank you very much for welcoming me into the championship. Unbelievable racing from start to finish, and that's from the start of the championship to the end, not just tonight. Hell of a race. I haven't really made any notes, which I normally do, to ask anybody any questions. Aaron's done the great job of asking questions so far. I just want to say thank you to you boys because the racing this season has been phenomenal. My first experience of touring cars within race room and this championship, and it's making me want to get back behind the wheel or at least get properly stuck in with some comms yet again next year. So thank you very much this season, boys. Your racing, your driving skills, it's been phenomenal.
Thank you, and thank you for the streams and for your comments.
Yeah, absolutely. Second that.
I've heard that.
Thank you very
Then
much, boys.
I will be up to bed, guys, because it's an hour later at my place.
It is.
It's not 10:30 though, is it?
No,
It's
10 to 11.
yeah, it's 10:50.
What we will do is, I was hoping maybe Russ would jump in. I think maybe he's talking to Carl and Sergio in another voice chat, but unofficially, because pending any incidents, there wasn't any incidents to note of.
I didn't have any incidents.
No, so I don't want to officially announce it, but kind of officially. The champion, driver's champion of the Super Tourist TCSRL, Mr. Georges User. Congratulations, good sir.
Thank you.
Well done, man.
It's been an honor.
Phenomenal racing. There we go.
All
Perfectly
right,
done. Nicely. Nice one. Second place, Mr. Stu Neal. So Georges User, if I've calculated it correctly, 302 points. Stu Neal. Stu, you took second with 290 points, a 12-point gap in the end. Curb Elijah closing down behind you, 284 points for third place. And on that very last race, Deeks overtook Poddy for fourth place in the championship, 198 and 194 points. So they're your top 5 in the championship for the drivers.
Poddy was sick.
Oh, man.
Oh, is that why he wasn't here? That's a shame.
I think he drank too much this weekend.
Yes.
If it's
No,
that kind of.
I don't think. I know he drank too much.
Okay. So in that case, I'm not gonna feel as bad for him because it was self-inflicted.
That's
very-
okay. I did as well in the Airbnb in Holland. I drank way too much this weekend.
Oh, we were together this weekend with the 7 of us. I was in England this weekend, and man, I had an amazing weekend, and yeah, Poddy
I'm-
being sick, yeah, it's his own fault.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. You came to England and I went to Holland at the same time. So
Oh, you were in Holland this weekend.
yeah, I went to watch the British Superbikes at Assen.
All right. Oh, I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was there. I was at the British Touring Car Championship on Silverstone.
I know. Poddy messaged me saying, "Are you coming?" I was like, "No." I sent him a picture of Assen. I was like, "I'm here."
Boys, just
hope you had
very
a good-
quickly, sorry to jump in there. I just want to note that Russ has joined us along with Sergio. Russ Butcher, you are the man that I know you have helped, but you run this championship. You organise things. You do everything, the server and things behind the scenes with some assistance. Thank you so much for joining us. While you're here, I do just want to say again, championship winner from what I can work out, Mr. George User.
I believe so, mate. Yes.
Yeah, and whilst you're here, and well, me saying that seems like it's a bit of a kick in the teeth. I haven't announced it. The Independence Championship, Independence champion, Mr. Rob South, with 313 points in the Independence Championship. Congratulations, my friend.
Because he
Well
didn't.
done.
He didn't
Well
drink
done,
this
Shores.
weekend.
Is that what it is?
Thank you, Russ. No, Rob
Well done,
didn't.
Shores. Well done, Rob.
Yeah, Rob didn't drink this weekend, so that's it.
There you go. Yeah, that's why I won.
There we go then. If my maths are correct, Russ, you've managed to just take second place in the Independence as well, with Carl Smith coming in third place there. So that's 1, 2, 3 for the Independence. I will very briefly, I won't go into as much detail as I did before you were here. The driving's been phenomenal all season by everybody. So congratulations to every single one of the lads that has driven this championship this far, this season, sorry. It's been fantastic, and thank you for having me.
No
Thank
worries,
you.
mate. Thank
Okay.
you for all your hard work, you, Aaron, and Mike. It's much appreciated by me especially, and I'm sure all the drivers for what you three do. Yeah, it's been great. Like you say, first season running the Super Tourers. We weren't sure how good it was going to be, how bad it was going to be, how the cars were going to be. But like you say, all in all, I think it's worked out all right. Yeah, it's been great.
It's been a hell of a season, and I myself would very much like to thank Aaron, who's here tonight and assisted along the way, and Mike as well, who isn't here. I would say sorry, but he's in Lake Como, so I'm sure he's absolutely loving his life. So thank you for him for bringing me on board for the comms, and Aaron for assisting tonight especially. It's been a hell of a season, and who knows, I might get behind the wheel again at some point and try out touring cars.
Ooh.
Well, I'm definitely getting behind the wheel, so come join us.
Yeah, you've got the bug again. I think you
The-
Get signed up.
you might be
I was
one
gonna s-
commentator down and a driver up next season.
That's right, yes. So yeah, WTCR will start middle to end of October.
Hello,
Yeah.
guys.
Hi, Bojan.
Hello, Bojan.
Hello.
Sorry, it's my English is very bad, but I understand everything you say.
We can understand you, mate.
Congratulations, user, for the championship.
Thank you, man. Thank you for your racing craft, man. It's amazing.
Oh, thank you. Really hard. It's working all night. I driving with 3 or 4 hours every day.
You told me, man.
Fair play.
Yeah, but for the next season, I stopped to killing myself in DNF. You're learning how to go to pit stop. It's
Very
too
good.
much for me.
Thanks, Boyan, for this season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kept us honest.
You've been
massively.
superb. You've been
Yeah.
really, really good.
It's been a
Oh, yes,
fantastic
thank
season,
you.
Bojan. You've been a fantastic driver. You've pushed the boys, and tonight especially, you showed that you have a lot. You're a very, very fast driver. You've got a lot of skill behind that wheel. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you can do next year. Just very quickly before we end the stream, before we go on to too much, and Mike tells me off. When he gets back, is there anything you'd like to say, Russ, as the runner of this championship, just before we finish the stream?
Just congratulations to obviously the winners, the runners-up, the third places, and to everybody for taking part. And like you say, the racing's been fantastic. The next championship, which is WTCR, starts October. Practice starts in October officially. The championship will then start towards the back end of October. That will take us all the way up to Christmas. And then the season after that, we'll be back to the Super Tourers. And that will be mid to end of January. But everything will be posted on the Discord so that everybody knows in advance.
Cool.
But other than that, gents, if you are getting back behind the wheel, get in the practice, and I'll see you there.
Wonderful.
Everybody clap.
Yeah, I don't even know how you do it. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Everybody clap.
On that note, I will end the stream. Thank you very much. There's a couple of very kind words in the stream. Carl's popped into the stream. Thank you very much, Carl, for the racing this season. It's been fantastic. And Fast and Fury Dice Sim Racing Leagues. Thank you very much for your kind words. I hope you've enjoyed tonight. Thank you to the drivers. Thank you to Aaron for assisting me tonight. I'm going to end the stream here.